Alright, so now you know you're a meatmake pilot. What do you do with that? The answer to that is simple. You make decisions based off of this knowledge. You look at your body as the machine that you have. You only get one, you can't trade it out in this lifetime. Alright guys, welcome back. Part number 2, let's get into it. Talking about the body, or as I like to say, the meatmake. And when we talk about the body or the meatmake, we're talking about a system which we get inside of. And it's what we use to navigate this 3D realm. As spirits, we can't physically interact with things, so we use this body as the mech to do so. We have a lot of special systems to gather information, like eyes, ears, nose. These are sensory systems. They feed us information that goes to our brain and is processed and turned into data that we, the pilots, can use to make decisions what to do here. When we talk about the body, what we're really talking about is the mech. That is the vehicle which you are driving. Now let's just imagine for a minute that you could only have one car for the rest of your life. You would do your very best to do all of the maintenance possible and give it the very best fuel in order to make it last the rest of your life. That's what you need to do with your body, since it is your mech and you only have one this life cycle. Do your very best to maintain it properly, to fuel it properly, to do all of the upgrades and training for it. At first this is going to seem difficult, but very quickly you'll get used to it and you'll feel better when you do it. So let's break it down. Let's talk about the different parts. And since we're thinking of it as a mech, let's look at it in that regard, okay? You have different systems and subsystems. Some are sensory systems, some are mobility systems, some are power systems. And of course you have your fuel system. The fuel is obviously your food, your water, and what you intake. And the maintenance is the exercise you do, the stretching, the mobility training. This allows your body to move more efficiently and better. And of course, you can't go anywhere unless you know where you're going. Sensory systems, like your eyes, your ears, your nose. Another major sensory system is your skin. It's full of nerves. It's lined from head to toe with nerves that allows you to feel different vibrations and temperatures and so on. It also allows you to absorb energy from the earth. It's called grounding. So you go outside, you put your feet on the ground, like barefoot, you walk around, and you'll actually absorb the positive energy from the earth, and you can release negative energy out into the earth, and there it can be transmuted by the earth itself. So the sensory systems pull information from our surroundings and send that to our brain, which processes it and makes it a data available for us, the meatmake pilots, to use and make decisions based off of what we sense, what we detect. With special training, we can actually improve our abilities to see, to hear, to smell. And we also have the third eye, the stomach, or the gut, as we say, and the heart. These also have their own sort of intelligence. So using all these in a regular basis, with intention, we can train and improve our abilities, including, I guess you could say, extrasensory perception. Then we also have the mobility systems, like your arms, your legs, the muscles, the tendons, the spine. They make it possible for us to do a lot of movement. The most complex movement available to any animal on this planet is ours. We can move, and we should move more and more. Mobility, recently I realized, is a major part of what we should be doing in order to fully enjoy this life. And when we're talking about perspective of the meatmake lifestyle, when I look at other people, I don't see a hot girl, an ugly girl, a fat guy, a skinny guy. I see meatmake pilots. Literally, I see souls driving their mechs around. And the easiest way to do that for me is to imagine something like this. You see, you've got the brain with the eyes, and you've got these nerves coming down. It's really creepy at first, but it gets rid of the differences that are the illusory differences. It removes them from us. Because let's be honest, at the core of everything, we are all the same. We're all energetic entities down here living this life. And the differences that we see in each other are the illusion. We're believing and buying into the illusion. And the powers that be in this system, in this world, the ones that want to keep us suppressed, they use these illusory differences to keep us at odds with each other. Now, as of yet, I'm not perfect at it, but so that's the basic breakdown of our physical body. But our physical body also has this connection from the past, and we will be connecting information from our lives to our future generations through DNA. We have the physical DNA, which comes from our ancestors, our mother, our father, and as spirits, before we come here, we choose what kind of genetic DNA we want based off of the body type, special skills and abilities that come genetically with that family line, but also on a metaphysical sense, we choose that for the karmic curses or generational curses that we come here to try to break. We will face them, address them, and as we mature spiritually, we'll find a way to actually accept it and release it, to heal it. If we fail to do so, then we will pass that generational curse on to the next generation. And since we're on the body, I want to talk about the social aspects of it. Why are you in the body that you're in this life cycle? For me, I chose to incarnate into a white body, and it's not about the colors, that's not the point. It's the genetics that were used to build this body from my mom and my father. My mom and my dad, they both came with their own set of gifts and abilities that were part of their genetic coding. And it's not just physical ability like metabolism, strength, height, size. These are aspects that we chose, and I'll get into why we did that in a little bit. But it's not just the physical aspects, it's the metaphysical aspects, the spiritual gifts and abilities. For example, it may sound far-fetched, but my mom is extremely psychic or intuitive, whatever you want to call it. When I was younger and I was doing things that I know I shouldn't have been doing, she had no idea of knowing what I was doing. And out of the blue, she would find me in places that I shouldn't be findable. And she would tell me little messages like, if you do this, you're going to pay for it. Do you know what I'm talking about? And I'd be like, yeah. So that led over to me having certain abilities like precognition. There have been many situations in my life where I would have a dream and not remember it, but then 2 years later, I would be in a store and, I would hear the doorbell, bing, bing, on the door as someone walked in. I'd be like, I've heard that before. And it's a common sound, but then I would see Bubblicious and I would see Bubble Yum and I'd be like, oh no, this candy, that candy. And then I'd look over and it'd be a Mountain Dew and then a Pepsi. And I'd, oh, this is deja vu, it's happening again. Long story short, I would end up remembering that I had this dream where all of this happened in succession. And at the end of the dream, something bad would happen. And I would have to remember ahead of what's happening in the current moment to what happened at the end of the dream and change it. And in multiple situations, I successfully did this. But it felt like a lot of stress and pressure on me to get it right every time. It felt very heavy on my shoulders. So I kind of turned that off. Drug addiction, abuse, these sort of things pass on from father to son or mother to daughter. It could be abandonment things, it could be just any of the typical issues that happen in everyday families.